Okay, well, it is take two because I forgot to record the video audio when I upload it. So we're gonna try it again. The reaction on Mighty Teapot about Neil Wolf's World Rewards. Let's check it out.
Oh, we've got some very good news for all the World versus World fans out there, or of course, perhaps players looking to finally get in on the action. The World versus World reward update is at last here. Well, what happened? Well, I'll tell you. Whenever you capture or defend,
The update they already have nerfed after like 6 hours into the patch release.
a large structure, that is a tower, a keep, or stone mist castle, you will now get additional rewards. As of right now, capturing or defending one of those objectives will give you bonus rewards. It looks a little bit like this. You'll typically be getting some extra world experience, some bags of gear, crafting materials, potentially.
Well, they already nerfed the crafting materials. They removed it completely. And it's maximum like 5,000 water experience can get now. I only see like 2.5 on defending a tier 3 stone mist every 3 minutes. So
Grandmaster Mark shards and extra tickets. All of that stuff is actually really, really good, especially those crafting material bags. That's basically everything that you might need to get most of the stuff for a legendary in there. These can really, really add up. And just to have a little bit of context here, I actually was playing this a little bit myself for a few hours on stream, and this is
remember that this has already been there, so you didn't make this stats.
what happened. I ended up gaining 31 gold in 2 hours of gameplay, which is of course.
And that's only because he leveled up a lot. Every level up rank up chest you get like 30 to 40 silver.
Around 15 gold per hour approximately. Now, what's interesting here is that it's very dependent on how active you are and also the state of the map. For example, the map that I was fighting on.
Well, it doesn't matter if you need to be active, that has nothing to do with it. You just repair the stone mist wall and you get it every 3 minutes. They don't really change anything about activity. It's more about, it's mostly reverting old updates like the mantras has been referred and they're promoting for draining supplies and just repair the wall and just stand on the wall.
Wasn't very well upgraded and got a little bit quiet in the second hour. However, the higher the tier of the structures you're attacking or defending, the more rewards you get. For example, this is what happens when you're...
Yeah, this is not gonna happen anymore because I already nerfed the loot bags you still get. There are special loot bags, like a rare quality. You don't get 2 marks anymore. You get 1 green work. You don't get the crafting bag and you don't get the 10k XP.
You're defending.
They already have announced that the 10k XP was too much and the maximum you can get is 5,000.
A tier 3 stone mist castle. Yeah, that's 10,000 world experience, an entire 2 levels in one go, alongside 7 crafting material bags, a bag of gear, 2 Grandmaster Mark shards, and a little bit of a loot bag there as well with some tickets there. All of this stuff really, really adds up very quickly. In fact, Stone Mist Castle in particular was pretty overpowered, in fact. They might have to do...
Yeah, it's especially overpowered because Stone Mist is the most contested objective in the whole world as well, because PvP duels contesting, Roma is contesting it. So yeah, I will expect Stone is gonna get nerfed. It needs to be nerfed because it's getting permanently contested day and night.
Do a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of tuning here, because some things, especially if they're infinitely contested at a very highly upgraded structure, get a little bit wild. So it finally happened. The World versus World players are getting...
And don't forget, you get for defending, you get experience. Even when the timer resets, you get the rewards. But for attacking, you don't get anything. You only get, if you're attacking, the only reward you get it is if you capture it. If you don't capture it, you don't get any rewards. If you defend it, you get rewards every time the timer ends. But if you lose it, you don't get rewards either.
rich. We absolutely love to see that. And there's a little bit something extra going on here as well that I actually really want to bring up here. The rewards are quite nicely designed because they're actually tackling some new player issues. Not only do they give you a lot more World versus World tickets, allowing players to progress quickly towards their legendary gear.
That is what I also noticed. Guild Wars ArenaNet is really focusing on the casual slash new player experience. Like the most of stuff we don't even need as veterans. We don't need world experience. We don't need tickets. It was an older one, and we don't need the markers because we mostly have the stuff we want. We got the builds we want. We got the armor we want, and we got like all the masteries already.
And other World versus World specific rewards. They also give you a lot of World versus World experience. And this allows players to rank up very, very quickly so they can get to those pips quicker. One really troublesome.
Well, that's what I think they had to do, like give some pips instead of world experience. Let's say make it random. Sometimes you get a world experience and sometimes you get progress to your pips or progress to your world reward track to make it more worth for the beginners, people to get quickly the pips done, because most people that come from PV doesn't like to do the pips. They just do it because it's easy money and they just can stand at spawn. But if we make it that easier, people will probably play more.
Thing for a new player in World versus World is that dreaded 3 pips per tick that you get that takes so long to get these weekly reward chests that are very, very important for your reward progression in World versus World.
And it might also improve
However,
the
this
queue
new system
if
really helps out with that by really boosting you up. I actually gained 30 ranks in just about...
Well, someone from my community actually calculated if this update wasn't nerfed, you can easily get 1000 levels in like 1 week of World Result if you play at least 8 hours a day. And just by repairing Stone Mist, because he got like 5000 experience every 3 minutes just by repairing the wall.
2 to 3 hours of gameplay, which is incredible. That's really, really insane. And bear in mind, I wasn't on a super active map, actually. And I've heard some reports of people getting way more than that, like potentially 50 plus ranks in a single evening of gameplay, which is absolutely incredible for getting your foot in the door, getting your...
Yeah, normally you get only like 50 or 40 levels in a week. So it really increased a lot because this is just an evening. Even now, in like 2 or 3 days, I got like 100 levels with the nerf. So it's still pretty decent.
Key World versus World masteries unlocked, like gliding and the mountain and so on, while also getting towards those pips. All the time, grinding out that gold very, very efficiently. In about the first hour of when I was doing this, I actually saw the gold per hour go up on this farming tracker on Guild Wars 2 efficiency. It went all the way up to 25 gold per hour before it quietened down in the second hour because I was playing a little late, okay? I was grinding. I was just doing a little bit of that karma training at the end there. And that's also something that I do want to bring up as well, is that the way it's tuned right now is that it kind of really incentivizes you to fight. The way you get these...
No, it doesn't. It promotes lazy work. It promotes draining supplies and just repairing the walls.
High participation rewards, the gold badge in the event tracker. You really need to be finding players. If you're not really finding a lot of players, it seems quite difficult to get a high...
But then you can always repair the wall, right? And if you're attacking, you can always kill a guard.
Participation score sometimes, and I actually believe that's intentional because they don't want you just running around capturing stuff willy-nilly. They actually want you to fight other players to turn these objectives into really major conflict points, and well, it certainly seemed to do that. There was a lot of deliberate attacking stuff because, of course, not only do you get rewards for taking over the objective, you get rewards for defending it as well. So in a way,
the only reward you get for attacking is by capturing it. And for defending, you get it every time when you defend it. So every time the 3 minutes ends, doesn't matter if it resets or not. If someone is trapping, if the guy is trapping, the guy that traps from the objective won't get experience because he's attacking. And the guy that's repairing while he's trapping he will get experience because yeah, it's defending, right?
Getting access to those really juicy defense events that fire off every few minutes is actually part of the reward for attacking things. So attacking and taking down high tier objectives and then upgrading them yourself to farm those defense rewards is now really, really powerful as well, which I think is actually really, really cool. And I think these are some of the things that can really shift player behavior in World versus World to what ArenaNet seems to want it to be, which is a much more objective, focused game mode where you're really going to be trying to control territory and hopefully having some really fun, aggressive, and defensive fights along the way. Now, of course, there's going to be a little bit more work here because fat loot is really fun, but sometimes sieges can still be a little bit on the annoying.
Well, we didn't really need this reward system. We just needed some, yeah, how do you call it? Just don't make a lot of lose when we just buy seats. Just make killing players drop a higher drop rate on giving us back our seats, you know. And yeah, that's what we actually needed. And the support players, no one's gonna play support players because you barely get anything from playing support. No loot. Yeah, the most veterans are just playing for the action.
Side. So I think that a bit of a look at Siege, Defender's Advantage, all that kind of good stuff is definitely in order to make sure that players are having fun while they're getting rich. But actually, I am really, really happy with this. I did not expect this to be as powerful as it was, and I am very happy with the results here. World vs. World is finally really getting to a solid standard when it comes to generating those rewards. And of course, it is worth noting that there's a little bit more to it than this as well. What you'll notice here is that there's actually quite a lot of raw gold here, right? This was 6.5 gold, around 3 wallet gold per hour.
And he said they want to focus on more fighting activity, right? But yeah, meanwhile, they want, yeah, let's just watch it together.
From just 2 hours of gameplay. Now, this is particularly relevant and because, you know, people love seeing that gold number go up. But of course, the reason this is happening is because you're ranking up a lot, right? And whenever you rank up in World vs. World, you just get a little bit of coin thrown in there. So you actually do generate a very respectable amount of just raw wallet gold, which is certainly very useful and I think quite gratifying for players to actually grab and level up there. So pretty cool stuff indeed. And yeah, once again, that doesn't include any of the currency values. For example, Grandmaster Mark Shards have a kind of intrinsic value to them because that allows players to get their Ascended gear and get that Ascended gear ladder, climb that up there. Same thing with the tickets, which are also required for that as well. So overall, World vs. World stuff looking really, really good. And bear in mind, this is the second part. So we've got our 8 gold weekly reward. Now we've got these bonus chests as well. It's fantastic stuff. And as a final note here, Arena also did something really, really clever, I think. You get these bonus chests even if you fail to defend. They're actually working on making it work. So if you fail to attack, you also get a bonus chest, obviously with lesser rewards. But that type of incentive to give it a go, even if you're not certain to win, and still giving the player like, you know, hey, you tried, have a little something, right? I think that's a really cool reward design actually, and should really encourage players to get out.
Like in the first days of Guild Wars, even when you didn't just an open world event, if you failed the event, you got karma. If you completed the event, you got karma and gold and silver. So people just forced to fill the events. So they respawn quickly and then keep farming them, just failing and farming, and at one point Einer just remove the failing part, so you won't get karma anymore, you won't get gold anymore when you fail an event.
Out there and be aggressive, as opposed to looking at a tier 3 objective and saying, oh, we can't do it, we give up, we're not even gonna bother, there's no use. So I really love to see this, some fantastic changes here for World vs. World, and of course I'm really looking forward to seeing them iterate on this and fix some of the issues. For example, the participation stuff, as I mentioned previously, is maybe in a little bit of a need of tuning. For example, repairing walls in Stone Mist Castle is still very, very effective, and draining all the supply out of all the towers and keeps was highly prevalent, and I think in particular behavior like that does need to be looked at because it's kind of sabotaging, right? Like if you constantly repair the outer Stone Mist wall, you're kind of sabotaging your team to an extent, and it's kind of promoting some somewhat unhealthy.
Well, ANET is the one that promoting that, so they you don't need to go and punish the players are doing it.
Gameplay. So I think adding some kind of system to prevent players from kind of
But I think if they just make it so you're not getting rewards every time the timer resets directly. You get rewards when the timer stops, and in 3 seconds, then you get your reward. If the timer starts again in like the 3 seconds, then you won't get rewards like they did with, what was it? They did it with something else. If the time, oh, with the waypoints, the waypoints won't contest for 3 seconds. If the timer starts again, the waypoint stays contested, and if the timer doesn't get resetted after 3 seconds, the waypoint gets uncontested.
aggressively leeching participation, particularly in Stonemas, to be honest. It's not so much of an issue in other objectives where an objective isn't permanently contested, but because of the positioning of Stone Mist Castle, it's right in the middle of Eternal Battlegrounds. This essentially means that it's always going to be attacked. It's pretty much always contested, leading to a near permanent defense event, which of course leads to pretty insane rewards. Some of the numbers I heard were actually eye-watering on how ridiculously rich players were getting just by camping Stone Mist Castle and having infinite battles there and holding it when it's a highly upgraded objective. So yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Make sure to get in there and get your gold, get those ranks. It's a really good time to get into World vs. World right now. Super excited to see what they have in the future with future iterative approaches to, of course, rewards, game balance, and so on. And of course, alliances in the long run, because you betcha there's probably going to be a little bit of a reward structure tied into that as well. You know, perhaps some kind of leaderboard system.
That's what I don't like. The leaderboards. Why would you need a leaderboard for a server name? That takes like 2 months. Every 2 months you get a different server, you get different people. So why you need leaderboards for alliance? Maybe for the guilds, yeah, but there's nothing to fight for. You don't have anything to fight for. You don't have server pride because yeah, the next 2 months your server is gone anyway. So why would you fight for something?
Or some kind of comparative structure that encourages participation over, say, a particular matchup. Say, hey, do your part for your alliance, do your part for your world. That sort of thing could be really, really cool indeed. And yeah, I've got to say, super impressed with what ArenaNet pulled off here, actually. And a little bit surprised, too. I was expecting them to actually be a little bit conservative and not go too hard because, listen, okay, ArenaNet don't want these World vs. World players getting rich, but actually, apparently, they do. It's fantastic.
No, you're wrong again because they nerfed it in like 6 hours again. So maybe ArenaNet doesn't want us to be rich. Hey.
Stuff. But anyway, that's basically a little quick update on the World vs. World rewards and kind of my take on them, my thoughts on the entire system as a whole. I'm definitely a big fan, but of course, let me know what you think.
Make
do you
sure
like
to
it?
follow
Do you hate
Mighty
it?
Teapot,
I don't know.
subscribe
You
and like
tell
to
me.
this
I
video.
can't read your mind. But anyway,
And,
I'll see you next time, gamers.
Yeah.
Be sure to
Give
do all
him
the
a like and a
algorithm
follow
stuff. You know
on
how it
YouTube.
is. Hit that follow button. Hit the sub
I
button.
hope you like this kind of
Leave a
content.
comment.
I will
Like
try
the video.
to do a little bit
Follow
more
all the
on
social
World
media.
World content.
All right, that's it. A positive one.
I will streaming tomorrow morning on Twitch/TV at any keys. So make sure to follow, like and subscribe, and see you guys later.